La Société canadienne d'anthropologie, c'est un organisme canadien qui essaye de regrouper tous les anthropologues du Canada, francophones et anglophones.
We are an organization of social and cultural anthropologists, and we have strongly supported the activities of cultural, social anthropologists and linguistic anthropologists.
Le principal point, c'est que c'est un lieu de réseautage parce que ça met ensemble les membres de mille et une façons.
All academic disciplines have their own association, organizes meetings, which in a country as large as Canada is very important to get people together who otherwise communicate by email and that. A lot of things only can happen in face-to-face.
Elle se donne plusieurs missions, servir de plateforme de diffusion de l'anthropologie canadienne, de regrouper les anthropologues canadiens au sein d'une association et de leur permettre donc de garder en contact et d'établir des réseaux professionnels.
It's somehow this sense of getting to know that there's a larger community than just the one that you're working in, and to hear how people are phrasing the questions in different parts of the country as well, the research questions that they're interested in.
What you see apart from people presenting on their latest research is planning further research by actually having get-togethers with colleagues and that sort of thing. So the meeting is one very important thing. Secondly, publication. The people can publish in the two journals, Anthropologica and Culture.
It's a good journal. It's well known, and it makes it. It gives you a sense that you have some kind of a voice, I think, in that world, which people can disagree with if they want.
It's been one of those associations that we thought was a great idea at the beginning, and then for the first decade or so, it seemed to lurch from crisis to crisis and then got settled. And now it just celebrated its 40th anniversary, and now it seems to be on a pretty secure basis. One of the most important things that I cherish about CASCA is the founding mothers and fathers wanted to make sure that there was parity between the francophones and the anglophones.
Il y a une présence francophone à la CASCA et c'est quelque chose qui est toujours entretenu. Puis je pense qu'il faut à la fois y être pour continuer d'assurer qu'il y ait cette présence francophone-là, mais aussi parce qu'on bénéficie, nous, beaucoup du réseau de la CASCA, de ce qu'elle fait.
C'est un lieu de formation pour nos étudiants de second cycle et de troisième cycle, en ce sens qu'ils peuvent aller présenter leurs travaux et se frotter un peu à la critique professionnelle.
I remember it from the beginning of the time I was a graduate student, which was in 1984, I believe. And it was a wonderful opportunity to meet other graduate students from other parts of the country, and also to meet the people who were writing the articles that we were all reading, the faculty from various universities.
Stimulating new research, new ideas. The other thing, apart from research itself, there are constantly new theories, new explanations for social behavior that start to spread in other areas from where they began.
En tant que postdoc, je trouve ça vraiment enrichissant de savoir ce qui se passe dans les autres provinces, dans les autres universités, dans les autres milieux professionnels que je côtoierais pas nécessairement.
As a student, we see ourselves quite isolated quite often, but we have colleagues in our department. But to feel that you're part of a bigger community is tremendous, and you learn a lot. I learned a lot. Many of us learned how to publish papers by learning from the editors of Anthropologica. It was enormously helpful for those of us who knew that we were supposed to be thinking about publishing papers at some point, to be able to work with editors from that journal and who were very friendly and very helpful and very encouraging, which isn't always the case in some other journals.
There's room for students to participate at the executive level and hear the concerns of people who are further along in their careers.
I remember very vividly how delighted I was to be able to come to these conferences, and that continued certainly during the years that I was teaching at UBC as well.
Well, it's been almost two generations. In the room here are my friends, and astonishing to me, children of my friends who've grown up into anthropologists in that time. Together, we've come to CASCA over these years to try on and trade off theories and methodologies and to share our stories from the field. We are as much a mutual support group, I think, as a scholarly organization. It's so very important that we support and sustain a place for our national society to protect and advance our interests in an academy that sometimes wields its power against its professoriate, and in a nation state in which we don't always recognize, they don't always recognize the rights of its peoples, its citizens, and its newcomers.
Many of the issues you see going on in the world fundamentally have that ethnocentric problem that needs to be untangled. Anthropology and all its different studies seems to illustrate this point, that only when we can get past those initial rejection of others because they don't fulfill your standards and try to understand where they're coming from, that I think that's a major contribution that anthropology has to make to the world today, and it's more relevant than ever. And even us old guys, we have a lot to learn.